Welcome back to another rebuild I have for you guys here today on Madden 19. Today it is going to be a realistic rebuild of the Miami Dolphins. Before I get into the video, as always, my Twitter, my Discord, and my second channel are all linked in the description, so you guys can check out those links if you'd like to. But here we go, let's overview the team. Newly acquired quarterback Josh Rosen is now the starting quarterback here for the Miami Dolphins. He's a pretty low overall, but that likely has to do with his poor season he had his rookie year. But also, he was on the Cardinals. The Cardinals have a horrible roster, so I don't think many quarterbacks would have succeeded in their system. So I can't really fault him all that much for his play. We'll definitely see how he does on the Dolphins in the coming years. I feel like that was actually a really nice trade, though. I think most people think that way as well. Kenyon Drake isn't a bad running back, but he doesn't play too well in Madden. He's a 79 overall. I feel like he should be a bit higher. I would probably categorize him at like the 82, 83 overall mark. But yeah, he doesn't play too well in Madden, so I might have to try to replace him soon. Maybe he will surprise me and will play well. Hopefully, that's kind of what I'm aiming for. Kenny Stills has gone off for me in the past. He's a good deep threat wide receiver. Devontae Parker, still pretty young. He has quick development in this game, so I'll try to get him some playing time. And then Albert Wilson isn't too bad. He's more of a slot wide receiver on this team. But I'm going to have Devontae Parker play the number 2 and the slot just because he has quick dev and he's 1 year younger, so he can probably develop a bit better. Laramie Tunsil starting at left tackle is not too bad. He lets up a ton of sacks, actually, but he is a solid left tackle, so I don't really think he should be. Michael Dieter starting at left guard. Of course, he's a rookie out of Wisconsin there. Daniel Kilgore, I don't know your first name. Chris Reed, all right, whoever you are. And then Isaiah Prince round off the rest of the offensive line. Mike Gesicki, tight end out of Penn State. I loved watching him at Penn State. He's kind of a beast. Hopefully he can develop here. On the defensive side, Rashad Jones used to be one of the best safeties, but now he's kind of regressed. He's an 84 overall. Still has star development. I'm not sure how he plays in the game. I really don't remember. I might have to let go of him sort of soon. TJ McDonald is starting at free safety. 27 years old, probably have to look to replace him as well. Maybe we can look to draft like Grant Delpit or something like that this year. That would be pretty cool. Xavier Howard just got a monster extension. I think he's the highest paid corner in the NFL and somehow still has normal development. He should have at least quick right now. He had a solid season this past year. He's an 85 overall. I remember back in my Dolphins fantasy style rebuild when he was like a 78, I traded him. A bunch of Dolphins fans did not like that one. Minkah Fitzpatrick, rookie out of Alabama this past year, star development corner. He's one of the best players you can get in a rebuild. He develops very, very well. And then Bobby McCain, not a bad third corner. He's probably going to be playing the number 2 in most cases because I'm going to have Minkah Fitzpatrick play the nickel. We got Jerome Baker here. I think he's pretty fast if I remember correctly. 89 speed. I do remember correctly. And I also feel like I remember him looking differently in that picture. Maybe that is him and I just have no idea, but I've seen a couple of real players, like their faces have been switched in this roster because some of the rookies that have just been imported into this roster have actual pictures of real life players, and I guess the players they took them from switched to different people, if that makes sense at all. So that may have happened with him, I don't know. Raekwon McMillan at middle linebacker, he's also extremely fast. I want to say like 86 speed for him. 86 speed exactly, look at that. And then Kiko Alonso, left outside linebacker. The defensive line isn't that good, but they did draft Christian Wilkins, who is a beast. They drafted him in the first round. I think that was a great selection. Only normal dev on him. I don't know if they just didn't change the developments of some of these rookies, but he'll at least have quick next year, I'm sure. And then this is what the specialist looks like over here. Pretty much what most of you guys would probably expect it to look like. So, we will simulate now to the midseason mark. The team shouldn't play well this first season, but hopefully we can draft some studs. The team is 3-5 here at the midseason, having the same record as the New York Jets, but I know we already lost to them, so we are in last place. The Bills are also 3-5, and the Patriots are 4-3-1, so this is still really anyone's division. Only a few experience points on offense. It's usually how it goes at this point. Defensively, Minkah Fitzpatrick has 2, which is pretty cool to see. Hopefully he can get like 6 or 7 after this year. That's what I'm hoping for. So for free agents, I don't think we have anybody, who's that notable. Nick O'Leary, I don't really need. I'll bring back Michael Dieter just because he's a rookie and he's starting, at left guard. He has some room to grow as well. Bryce Butler, Jesse Davis, Isaiah Prince, I guess I'll probably give a contract to as well. So let me just sign those 2 guys quick. Isaiah Prince and Michael Dieter are returning to the team for at least a few more seasons. So I will sim to the end of the season, and I kind of hope we don't make the playoffs because I do want a nice draft pick to use. The team didn't make the playoffs this year, so I'm actually really okay with that, though. We did beat the Bills 33-9. That was a decent performance. We went 5-11, finishing on the bottom of the division. The Patriots 9-6-1 win the playoffs, or not win the playoffs, win the division, make the playoffs. 1-3 in the preseason. Lost the opening 4 games. Then we beat the Bengals, Bears, and Lions. Lost 3 4, 5, 6 games in a row, destroyed the Vikings 40-6, and then destroyed the Bills there at the end. Okay, hopefully like some of our younger players played well. Even though we had a bad season, that's all I can really hope for, I guess, at this point. Josh Rosen, over 4,000 yards, but 19 interceptions, 27 touchdowns. Not the best season. It would be really rare for him to win Rookie of the Year with this kind of season, but who knows? It could happen. Kenyon Drake wasn't all that good either. The offensive line also sucks, but usually a good running back can kind of overcome that in Madden. 7 rushing touchdowns isn't horrible, but still 3.4 yards a carry is quite bad. Kenny Stills, nearly 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Devontae Parker, 7 touchdowns. Mike Gesicki, 7 touchdowns. Albert Wilson, 8. Okay, so those guys actually all played pretty well. How many sacks were let up? Probably a lot by Laramie Tunsil. Okay, well, Isaiah Prince with 12, Laramie Tunsil 10, Daniel Kilgore 10. That's not that good from a center. I normally don't see my centers at the top of, sacks let up, but I guess 10 for Laramie Tunsil isn't horrible. 12 for Isaiah Prince isn't that bad, considering he's a 70 overall. Raekwon McMillan, 132 tackles, 3 interceptions. It's not a bad season from him at all. 13 tackles for loss for him as well. Jeez. Tank Carradine had 10. How many sacks did we end up getting? 7 from Charles Harris. How did Christian Wilkins play? Did he not play much? He definitely didn't get many sacks unless I missed him. He only had 36 tackles, 5 for loss. Alright, I kind of was hoping that would be a bit more. 3 interceptions from Raekwon McMillan, Jerome Baker, and Minkah Fitzpatrick. 1 from Bobby McCain, Xavier Howard, and Eric Rowe. How many defensive touchdowns did we end up getting? None. What about safeties? None. Okay. Blocked kicks, Christian Wilkins, Jaron Elliott each got 1. Alright. So 20th on offense. Actually, I thought it would be lower than that. And then defense was 26th. Okay, we have to upgrade very much so in both of those categories. I doubt I'll see any Dolphins in here. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Tom Brady. Nobody from our team. Also didn't expect to see anyone there. Here we go, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Or actually, Defensive Player of the Year. What am I doing? I'm so tired, okay? I'm sorry, but CJ Mosley wins that one. Okay. Where is Raekwon McMillan? There he is at number 9. That's actually rather low. I thought he'd be higher than that. Offensive Rookie of the Year, here we go, goes to Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen at number 4. Anybody else from our team? Mike Gesicki, Kalen Ballage are both also in there. Minkah Fitzpatrick wins Defensive Rookie of the Year, though, which is awesome. He should get a lot of experience points. Darius Leonard's up to a 90. Minkah Fitzpatrick may even go up higher than that, which is always cool. Let's check it out, though, because he has star development, which is huge in this game, and he also just develops well anyway. 2 experience points for Josh Rosen. I might allow him to stay on the team for this next season. I think that's what's going to happen. I'll keep him for 1 more season. If he doesn't seem to play well in simulation once again, I may try to go ahead and draft like Trevor Lawrence or something the following year. That would be pretty cool. Devontae Parker has 2. Mike Gesicki also has 2. Minkah Fitzpatrick has 9. Let's go. That's awesome. Raekwon McMillan has 5. He develops super well. Xavier Howard, Bobby McCain each only have 1. I guess Charles Harris has 2, which isn't too bad. We have just under $60 million here to spend in free agency. Who can we reel in? Jay Ajayi. I could bring him back to the team. Trey Boston actually is a player I could go after at this point, since the Dolphins and the Redskins aren't pursuing him like crazy. Well, for the first reason there, I am the Dolphins, so that's why they're not going after him like crazy. Anybody else here who I want? It looks like a very typical free agency period. I'm not seeing anyone too intriguing, but I'll let you know if I go after anyone other than Trey Boston. I think I went after 3 players in total. Let's see who we got. We got Trey Boston. And that is it so far, so let me see the progress on the other 2 guys. I went after a center, and I went after a linebacker, I think. So here we go. Matt Skira, we're still the top team on him. And then Denzel Perriman, I'm giving him such a low contract, as you can see. Because if he comes over, he's probably going to slide the outside linebacker. I just didn't want to overpay for him that much because, he's not phenomenal. He's going to go up to like an 80 overall, which isn't too bad, but, still. We ended up not getting Denzel Perriman. I guess some other team gave him a contract, and I don't know yet about Skira, and that sucks because I can't go back into free agency and give him more money at this point, so if somebody did swoop in, they will likely get him. So Matt Skira is just going to be a free agent. I will sign him immediately because he's only 26 years old, and he's a 77 overall center. So that's cool. I don't think another team, came in and snagged him, which is nice. We are going to be starting the draft here. I think we have the 3rd overall pick. I'm not going to bother trading up right now, so let's just see who the Vikings and the Raiders decide to go with. Here we go, the Vikings. We're going to go with Grant Delpit, 1st overall. The Raiders are going to go with Andrew Thomas at left tackle. I might look at my trade down options because if I can get like the Redskins pick and then their pick next year, that would be huge. Or maybe the Bills. Let's see. The Titans are offering that. I don't want to do that trade though because I don't want to move back that far. I also don't want to move back that far with the Seahawks. I still want like a top 5 pick for this if I can. And I don't see any. So I might have to get something to go through manually because all of these picks are rather late. I'm deciding to trade down with the Giants, giving them the 3rd overall pick for the 6th this year and their 1st rounder next year, which is actually projected to be pretty late, but I don't really expect it to be that late, so they will likely go with an offensive lineman. And they are actually going to draft Tua. Okay. The Redskins are going to go with Derek Brown at defensive tackle, and then the Bills are going to select CJ Henderson out of Florida. All right, this isn't that bad, right? Because I kind of wanted to go with a defensive, not defensive tackle, an offensive lineman. I think I'm going to go with Trey Smith. It's either him or Walker Little, and I think Trey Smith might be of bigger need. I can always slide him to tackle maybe. He's huge. I feel like he has the size for it. I could also use like a defensive lineman. Could go with like Raekwon Davis, but he's not really much of an edge guy. I don't want him to slide to defensive tackle. I could go with Chase Young. He is an edge guy, but I feel like it's a little early for him. I think I'm just going to go with Trey Smith. I know this dude's a beast. 80 overall, star development guard. He's going to help out the offensive line a lot. We are now in the 2nd round. Pick 3. Who is still here? AJ Epineza is available. Okay, he's a beast. He will probably be the player I go with, but it kind of worries me that his overall might be kind of bad in this roster. I'm still going to go with him here, though. 78 overall, normal development. Okay, that was an excellent selection. 77 speed. He can definitely play edge. He's very good. Hopefully he gets a lot of sacks. I could still go with Justin Herbert if I wanted to, or Jacob Eason or something. That's actually really funny. Let me see, though. Is there anybody who I want to go with now? I'm in the 3rd round. This safety actually looks kind of good. Isaiah Pryor. He could be the selection now. I think he's actually going to be. Here we go. 75 overall, normal development. He's not too bad. He could maybe... No, he's not going to start. I was going to say he could start over Rashad Jones, but I'm not actually going to have him start. He may start at free safety, though, because I don't really want McDougald starting all that much longer. CeeDee Lamb went in the 4th round. That would be a great pick if the Raiders, got him in real life. Let me see. Is Herbert still available? That would be hilarious. He is not anymore. Okay, because it would have been a bit ridiculous if he was still here now. Let me see what I still need. I have a couple players on my draft board, most likely, so let me just check that out really quick. I have a strong safety here who actually doesn't look that good. I could use a center. Actually, no, I don't need a center because I can just pick up that guy in free agency. So I think with this pick, I can kind of just go wherever I want. I don't really need a cornerback. Not terribly in need of an outside linebacker. Kyrick McDonald looks pretty good. I could have him come and play free safety. I know I just drafted that other safety, though. So because of that, I'm actually just going to throw that dude on my draft board and then maybe try to get him in the next round. Maybe I can try to get a linebacker here. Nate McBride could maybe play outside linebacker for me. Let's go with him. He's a 71 overall. Alright, he's nothing special, but not a horrible value pick, I guess. DeAndre Francois went to the Raiders as well. Here we go, though. Is there any free safety left? Okay, no, that guy is gone. I still have the strong safety here. CJ Avery looks pretty decent, actually, out of Louisville. The end of these drafts here aren't really, anything special, so it doesn't matter all that much who I go with. I highly doubt they're going to start regardless. So let's just go with that safety. He looks pretty good. At least his combine looks nice. 75 overall. Okay, that wasn't a bad selection. I'll have to see, which safety I want to start. One of those guys I drafted will start at free safety, though. I could go Bakari Lucas here out of Penn State. He would be a nice acquisition just because he's fast. I don't really need a cornerback, but I'm still going to do it. 72 overall, normal development. 93 speed on him, though. He can fly. So I'm looking up this player right now just because I've actually never heard of him, being a Penn State fan. So I don't think this guy exists. I don't think he's actually a player. I could be wrong, but I can't see anything on Google. Even if he's like, a young sophomore right now or a freshman, he should still come up on Google. Just because he's on Penn State's football team likely, but whatever. I don't think he exists, but it's not that big of a deal. I think this draft actually went really well. Because we selected a couple starters, and we also acquired another first rounder next year. So now we have Trey Smith to anchor our offensive line. AJ Epineza is going to be a beastly starter for us. And then either Isaiah Pryor or CJ Avery will start at free safety. Not exactly sure who yet, but I'll figure it out at some point. And then Nate McBride may even start at outside linebacker. I'll have to figure it out. So it turns out that Skura guy is not in free agency. So that's a bit annoying, but I'm just going to sign Jacoby Mann. Why not? He's a rookie, 71 overall offensive lineman. He's just going to play center. This is going to be the team heading into the second season. I made a bunch of different changes here. So Trey Smith is starting at right tackle. Isaiah Prince slid into right guard. The overall difference is still the same because Trey Smith went down an overall point, but Isaiah Prince went up an overall point. And then on defense, I know I said that one of these safeties would start at free safety, but I kind of forgot about Trey Boston, so he's going to be starting there. One of those guys might slide up and start over Rashad Jones next year because this will likely be Rashad Jones' last season as a Miami Dolphin, at least starting as a Miami Dolphin. We also have McBride starting at left outside linebacker. I threw Kiko Alonso on the trade block because he's a 75 overall. He's going to keep regressing. No real reason to keep him on the team because McBride is is just younger and only 2 overall points lower. Minka Fitzpatrick is a god. He's an 89 overall. He should keep progressing as well. So the team looks pretty good, honestly. The specialist is also relatively the same. I mean, I think Epineza and Godshaw are new starters here on defense, but everything else there should be the same. This team should play better than last year's team, but I don't think it's going to make the playoffs yet. We are 3-4 here at the midseason mark, so the same win total, I think, but 1 fewer loss because we just played 1 fewer game. The Jets this time are 5-2. The rest of the division is tied at 3-4. All right. Here we go on offense. How many experience points do we got going around? 1 for a few players. No one usually has more than that on offense, I swear. Defense, Minka Fitzpatrick already has 2. Raekwon McMillan also has 2. He has star development now. He is so much fun to use in a rebuild. Xavier Howard has to come back to the team. I guess this roster doesn't have his contract extension. I think it's because it was made before the extension, so that makes sense. Let's give him a big contract. I'm not going to do that yet, though. Let me go over everybody else. So Laramie Tunsil, I want back. Matt Hawk, I think that's how it's pronounced. I want him back on the team. Devontae Parker, 83 overall, want him back. Kenyon Drake, I don't know what to do with him. Because like I said, he doesn't play well in simulation, so it's rough to try to bring him back to the team because I know he's not going to be that good. I can also probably sign him in free agency if I really need him back. I'm looking to get a new starting running back this next season anyway, so maybe I can just sign 2 running backs, including him, in free agency. I don't know. Jerome Baker I want back. Jakeem Grant I'll probably bring back just for special teams. Everyone else I don't really care too much about. Xavier Howard, Laramie Tunsil, Matt Hawk, Devontae Parker, and Jerome Baker are coming back to the team. I actually forgot about Jakeem Grant. Let me give him a contract real quick here. It's a lot of money kind of to pay for a special teams guy. Maybe not. Whatever. He's going to come back to the team. He's also a decent wide receiver. I mean, he's a 77 overall. Not too bad. But now, hopefully we can make a playoff push. The division is also, close again like it was last year, so maybe we can make a wild card round. Let's see, did the team make the playoffs? We did not make the playoffs. What was the record? 5-11 again. Okay, so the team didn't apparently get any better. The Patriots were 11-5. They won the division. I didn't mean to click on standings. My bad. I meant to go to the schedule. So yeah, I mean, I think I improved the team quite a bit, but apparently not. Deshaun Watson wins MVP. That usually happens. 3-1 in the preseason this time. Lost the opening 2 games. Shut out the Bengals, though. Lost 2 more. 1-2. Lost a whole lot in a row. Is that 6 games in a row? I think it is. We beat the Bills, lost to the Eagles, beat the Ravens. So we just keep getting on these random losing streaks, like at the end of the season. That's okay, though. Maybe we can turn it around next year. Josh Rosen, over 4,000 yards again. 31 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. That was a really good season. That was much better than his rookie season. So he might actually be able to start for us at quarterback. It really does depend on how many experience points he gets, I guess, though. Because, I mean, if he has this kind of season again next year, I'm not going to be upset about it. I think he had a great season. Kenyon Drake was horrific. 3.1 yards per carry. This is what I'm talking about. He doesn't play well in simulation. I like him a lot in real life. I think he's a solid running back. The offensive line could have something to do with this, but I've also seen some running backs go off with horrible offensive lines. Like Saquon goes off every single year in this, and the Giants have a terrible offensive line. So, I don't really think Kenyon Drake is that good in Madden then. Kenny Stills was pretty good this year. Devontae Parker was excellent. 965 yards, 11 touchdowns. Mike Gesicki, 6 touchdowns. Albert Wilson, 4. Kenyon Drake got 4 receiving touchdowns, so I guess he was a receiving threat. Blocking, how was this? Not that good from Trey Smith. Also not that good from Laramie Tunsil. I don't really know how to interpret these numbers, though, to be honest, because I've seen very good offensive linemen let up a lot of sacks, so who knows? 134 tackles from Raekwon McMillan is quite a bit. 17 tackles for loss for Charles Harris. Okay, 16 from Devon Godshaw, 12 from AJ Epineza, and 11 from Christian Wilkins, but not much pressure at all. Our leading sacker was Charles Harris with 5. What is going on? Maybe we have to just sign some dominant pass rusher or something. 5 interceptions, though, from Xavier Howard, 4 from Bobby McCain, 2 from Minka Fitzpatrick. These cornerbacks are ruthless. 1 from Raekwon McMillan, Jerome Baker, Kiko Alonso, Trey Boston, Eric Rowe, and Rashad Jones. And I just realized I forgot to check my trade options for Kiko Alonso. I kind of doubt he got any, though. He really isn't all that valuable. Defensive touchdowns, none. Safeties, none. And then blocked kicks, I saw at least 1. Here we go. We have 2. Jerome Baker, Akeem Spence. Okay. So 25th on offense, even though Josh Rosen had a pretty good year. Kenyon Drake played pretty badly, though. 29th on defense, so it doesn't even matter. The defense was horrible. Anybody from the Dolphins? I'm not seeing anyone. AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Anybody from the Dolphins? Doesn't look like it. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Myles Garrett. It'd be cool if he can randomly be in free agency, even though I don't think that makes any sense. Anybody from the Dolphins? So no Raekwon McMillan. Raekwon McMillan had another great season, and he's not in here. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jake Fromm wins that one. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jacob Phillips. AJ Epeneza's in there at number 9. We didn't get like anybody in any of those awards. That's kind of tragic, but how many experience points do we got here? We have 2 from Josh Rosen. Okay, so he's going to be a 79 overall. That's not all bad. Maybe he can stay on the team. Defensively, we have 3 from Minkah Fitzpatrick. Only 1 from Xavier Howard, even though he had like 5 interceptions. Only 1 from Bobby McCain as well, even though he had like 3 or 4 interceptions as well. 3 from Raekwon McMillan isn't too bad, though. The Eagles got humiliated in that Super Bowl there, 29-3. How tragic. But like I mentioned earlier, I don't think I'm going to bring back Kenyon Drake, at least yet. I wouldn't mind bringing him back to be like a backup running back, but let's see who else is here in free agency. So $41 million. I'm sure Kareem Hunt is the top guy. I'm going to try not to go after Kareem Hunt because I feel like I do all the time. Marcus Peters. I could snag Marcus Peters and actually have Minkah Fitzpatrick play safety. Ooh, that's not that bad of an idea. Minkah Fitzpatrick will be like a 93 overall safety. That might be the move. I think I'm going to try that. Marcus Peters is a solid cornerback in the game, so I'm actually completely about that. I could go after Carson Wentz to start over Josh Rosen. I don't know, though. That's rough. I really don't know. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'll give Josh Rosen another year. Any running backs here who I can go after who are not Kareem Hunt because I don't want to get Kareem Hunt. Austin Eckler, maybe? I probably should go after Kareem Hunt, but I feel like I do it all the time. Alright, I'm going to do it one more time. I apologize, but I'll do it this time, and then the next time I need a running back, I won't go after him, alright? So just stick with me here. The Dolphins are a tough team to rebuild. I need all the help I can get. Let's see who we got in free agency. We got Marcus Peters, we got Kareem Hunt, and we got Connor McGovern. I don't think it makes much sense for, him to be in free agency since he was just drafted, but I don't care. I'm signing him. He's going to start at center for me. I have the 4th overall pick here in this draft class, so here we go. The Vikings are going to select Foster Sarell. The Raiders are going to go with Tyson Campbell. And then the Buccaneers are going with Trey Dean. Really, Stanford Samuels III, I think, is still here. And actually, no. Wait, is it him? Yeah, this dude's the best corner in this class, like, by far. He is amazing, but whatever. Here we go. Let me see who I want to go with. I think with this pick, I'm going to go with Micah Parsons out of Penn State. He's a beast. Hopefully, he can come in and just dominate. Here we go. 81 overall superstar development. He's going to be the new edge rusher on this team. He's going to develop into a god, and I can't wait. We also have the 18th overall pick here, and Trevor Lawrence staring me straight in the face. Let me think what I want to do. Maybe if he's there in the 2nd round, I'll go with him. Because, I mean, he is so good. Like, I feel like he's too good not to get. And I really could use an offensive lineman at this point, but I think they may all be gone. They are all gone. I feel like just by that logic, I should select him. But I feel like Dolphins fans might get kind of mad at me for that because I didn't give Josh Rosen that much time. I could go with a middle linebacker here and actually have a solid outside linebacker. That's never a bad option. Quay Walker looks nice. This guy looks pretty good as well. Any corners still left? No, I don't really need a corner anyway. I'm not sure why I was even looking at it. So it's either a linebacker or Trevor Lawrence. And I feel like Trevor Lawrence would make this rebuild a lot more fun. I feel like I shouldn't have to apologize for this, but I'm going to. I'm sorry. I'm going with Trevor Lawrence. 84 overall superstar development. We can actually use him. I don't remember if I've ever used him in a rebuild before. I feel like maybe once. But he's a god. He is going to develop into a beast, and I'm sorry for Josh Rosen. I feel bad for him, man. If this happens in real life, that really sucks. But I really do think Josh Rosen's going to do well on the Dolphins in real life. That's not to say he didn't play well for me. Like, this past season was actually pretty decent for him. But I don't want him just to, like, revert back to that first season for him. You know what I mean? So maybe I'll try to go with an offensive lineman here. There we go. There's this guy, Josh Myers, right tackle. Doesn't look bad. Let's go with him. 76 overall, normal development. Okay. I think this draft is going very well right now. We are now in the 3rd round. Who is still available? Dylan McCaffrey is still available. That's just funny looking. He's probably going to be a very good player. Any wide receivers still here? Tyjon Lindsey. Looks like a beast. I don't really need a wide receiver, though, so, I mean, I'm not going to go with anybody now. Let me see if there's any linebackers maybe who look decent. There's this guy, Shalon Ellis. He's very slow. Any middle linebackers? Jordan Anthony. I can maybe get him next round. Probably not. You know what? Let's just go with... This is actually difficult, because there's Brenton Cox who looks pretty good. I don't really think I'm going to need him. I could go with this right tackle, who I don't actually need. Okay, so I'm not going to go with that right tackle. I'm just going to go with this wide receiver. 78 overall, normal development, man. He's very good though. 93 speed, 94 acceleration. He's a great kick returner, so he'll start at least in that aspect. I'm just going to send him to the end of the draft here though. Let's see who the team picked up for me later in the draft. So I think our last pick was in the 3rd round, I believe. So we got a running back here, Lorenzo Lingard. 75 overall, 74 overall right end. Fadarian Mathis, is this a real player? Because that's an amazing name if he's real. Taylor Fields, halfback out of South Dakota State, 76 overall, and then a random left guard. I don't think I checked out the draft last year, but I'll just briefly go through it now. So Foster Sarrell, Tyson Campbell, Trey Dean, we already saw all those. Rondale Moore, still out of the wrong college, whatever. Cesar Ruiz, Stanford Samuels III, Isaiah Wilson, Patrick Surtain Jr., or Surtain, however it's pronounced. Devon Hunter, Devin Hunter, whatever. Justin Ross, nice looking wide receiver there out of Clemson. Tylan Wallace, Calvin Ashley. I wanted this guy. I was really close to picking him instead of Micah Parsons, but I feel like Parsons could help the team out a lot more. Let's see if it actually paid off. So this is easily the best team we have had yet. We're an 84 overall, 87 offense and defense, and now we have Trevor Lawrence starting at quarterback. Kareem Hunt also here at running back to help him out. Kenny Stills, Devontae Parker, Albert Wilson are still the wide receivers. And then defensively, Micah Parsons starting at left end. He should go up in overall a ton, and I really hope that happens. Minka Fitzpatrick's a 95 at strong safety. Really excited to see what he can do up there. Raekwon McMillan's going to try to continue his success here. Marcus Peters, the newly acquired cornerback, Xavier Howard, Bobby McCain are the other two guys. So the team is really good. I definitely think this team has what it takes to make it to the playoffs. We have a bye week here at week 9, but let's check out the record. We are 5-3, so finally on top of the AFC East. The Patriots 4-3, the Jets 3-4, the Bills 2-5. 3 experience points already for Trevor Lawrence. I can't wait to see what he goes up to. Defensively, 1 for a couple players, 4 for Micah Parsons. Wow, okay. I hope he's dominating. That's what it seems like's happening at least. 2 for Epineza is nice to see as well. I was like already on him. He was the player I was highlighting when I came over to defense, so I actually didn't see his experience points right away. But oh lord, that could be great. So I have to bring back Kenny Stills here. At least I want him back on the team. Even though he's 28 years old, he's still pretty good. Raekwon McMillan, I definitely want. He's only 23 years old. Albert Wilson, I'm going to let him go. Devon Godshaw, Christian Wilkins, I want back. Charles Harris, I actually don't need him anymore because now he's a backup. Josh Rosen, same kind of goes for him. I don't need him anymore. Eric Rowe, Ryan Fitzpatrick, don't really want those guys either. So Christian Wilkins, Devon Godshaw, Raekwon McMillan, and Kenny Stills re-signed with the team. So hopefully this is a playoff season. It looks like it should be one. We made the playoffs, but just barely. We went 9-7, but finally having a winning record. The Bills are 8-7-1, the Jets 8-8, and then the Patriots 7-9. So the division was actually really close. We probably didn't clinch the playoffs until the very end. 4-0 in the preseason, won the opening game, lost to the Broncos, beat the Jets, so we have a good record at least against the division so far. Beat the Bills, another win there against a divisional rival, lost to the Jets, beat the Patriots, got shut out by the Seahawks. Alright, and then we won a few more games down there, lost to the Patriots though too. Let me see, how did Trevor Lawrence do? Come on, dude. Win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Even if you don't, you probably still are going to go up like crazy. So actually, not all that well in the yardage, department, but touchdowns and interception ratio is phenomenal. 31 touchdowns is great. 9 picks is also very good. Over a 100 ratio, I can definitely take that. Kareem Hunt was fantastic. Look how much of a difference he made as compared to Kenyon Drake. 1,516 yards, 9 touchdowns. Devontae Parker, 6 touchdowns, led the team. Mike Gesicki, 3 touchdowns. Kenny Stills only got 4 down there. Albert Wilson got 6, which isn't all that bad. Actually, yeah, so then Devontae Parker didn't lead the team. I mean, he did. He tied with Albert Wilson is what I'm trying to say. Can't get my words out properly. Josh Myers led up the most, number of sacks on the team with 10. That's not even that much. Raekwon McMillan, 104 total tackles. How many tackles for loss do we have? 16 from Micah Parsons, who had 12 sacks. That's what I like to see. 11 from AJ Epineza, and then 10 from Raekwon McMillan. 7.5 sacks for Devon Godshaw is actually pretty good. I see 7 interceptions from Bobby McCain. What? 5 from Trey Boston, 1 from Jerome Baker, Xavier Howard, Raekwon McMillan, and Eric Rowe. So defensive touchdowns, how many do we have? 2 from Trey Boston, 1 from Bobby McCain. No safeties, and no blocked kicks. Okay, so the defense was actually quite good this year. 14th on offense. I feel like defense was top 10. 19th. Okay, actually wasn't all that good. Matt Ryan wins MVP. Nobody from the Dolphins. AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Kareem Hunt. Was he even in the MVP? Yeah, no, he wasn't. Okay, well, anyway, Kareem Hunt wins that one. Didn't expect to see him there. Trevor Lawrence at number 9 is pretty cool. Defensive Player of the Year. Baron Browning, however it is. Nobody from our team. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Who is it? Trevor Lawrence. Let's go. Taylor Fields comes in second. Wow. Okay, he's a backup running back. I guess a lot of these other guys didn't really play too much. KJ Hampler. KJ Hampler. All right. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Micah Parsons. Let's go. A bit of a voice crack in there, but who cares? It just shows how excited I am. I'm not too excited about KJ Hampler, though. I gotta be real. Let me make sure that's like, you know, who I'm thinking it is. There's no way there's another college player named KJ Hampler. Yeah, that's supposed to be KJ Hamler. 87 speed. Okay, yeah, this guy is 6'2". What? What kind of roster is this? I need a new one. You know, just one quick Google search, and you find that his name is KJ Hamler. No P in there. He is 5'9", 168 pounds. 6'2", 213. It doesn't really you know, seem to be accurate, and I can't really find his speed on here. I could probably find it pretty easily if I looked it up a little more, but he's way faster than 87 speed. I'll tell you that much. Probably have at least 94 speed, I'm sure, when he comes into the game, maybe 93. But here we go. Experience-wise, 6 overall points from Trevor Lawrence, 2 from Gesicki, 2 from Connor McGovern. Albert Wilson got 1 down there. What about Lindsey? Sorry, my bad. He got 1. On the defense, we got 12 from Micah Parsons. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, didn't expect that. 2 from Xavier Howard and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Oh, you're joking, right? 1 from Bobby McCain. He had 7 interceptions. What do you mean? Pro Bowl appearance, 3,000 experience. You joking? Okay. Anyway, 3 from AJ Epineza. I think that's how you pronounce his name. That's how I've been saying it all this time. I hope that's right. I feel like it's Epineza. I don't know. 2 from Raekwon McMillan isn't too bad either. The team is looking nice. We're an 87 overall, 93 on defense, which is cool, 89 on offense. Trevor Lawrence is up to a 90. I think he upgraded the most on the offense. And then on the defense, Micah Parsons is a 93. Of course, he upgraded the most on this side. 94 power moves, 80 speed. He is a beast. A couple other guys here, you know, developed really well. Minkah Fitzpatrick's up to a 97, which is awesome. So let's see if we can take down the Jaguars. They have an 86 overall team, so we actually are beating them in that department. Let's see, though. They're typically a pretty good team. If Blake Bortles is still their quarterback, he plays really well. And he is going to beat us. 28-14. Let's check out that game a bit more in depth here. If it is still Blake Bortles, I'm going to be so sad. No, I don't really care all that much. But 28-14, they outgained us in yards. It's actually Nick Foles, the starting quarterback. Of course it's not Blake Bortles. What am I talking about? He's on the Rams. Wow. All right, I'm an idiot. I mentioned this earlier. Okay, I'm tired. Just let me be. 3 touchdowns for Nick Foles. Pretty good game there for him. Actually a great game. Trevor Lawrence, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Leonard Fournette was solid, 1 touchdown. Kareem Hunt ran pretty well. A.J. Dillon also ran well. Devontae Parker had a touchdown. Colin Johnson had 2 out of Texas. D.D. Westbrook, Jakeem Grant also scored touchdowns. All right, well, I'll go another season here. We have $51.46 million here to spend in free agency, so let's see who we can bring in. Christian McCaffrey, of course, is here. Marlon Humphrey, I don't really need on this team. I have really solid corners anyway. He would help, but Bobby McCain just came off of a great season, so I don't know if I really want to try to replace him. Tariq Cohen, Phillip Lindsay, Jordan Howard. Justin Houston doesn't really have a spot on this team either. David Njoku. Cooper Kupp could be interesting. But I sort of like the wide receivers we have already, to be honest. I mean, I could have him play the slot just to see if we can, you know, give Trevor Lawrence some more options. I think I might go that route. Larry Ogunjobi at defensive tackle could also be a look. Josh Allen? Why is Josh Allen here? Why does he only have normal development? I don't know, but I'm going to go after a couple guys here probably. So we got Brandon Brooks and we got Cooper Kupp. I decided not to go after Ogunjobi because I do like the defensive tackles on this team. I think they're perfectly fine starting. But now Cooper Kupp, I think, is going to play the slot. I think I'm going to keep Kenny Stills at the number 1, and now we have a very nice wide receiver trio. I mean, we did this entire time, but now it's probably the best it's been. I have the 21st pick in this draft here, and I didn't bother trying to import a draft class because I don't want to import a 2022 draft class. That just seems kind of strange to me. But let's see who we can actually, you know, snag here. I can use a linebacker on this team. I'm going to throw these guys on my draft board because I'll probably only make this pick and then simulate. Dimitri Ballantyne? He's very slow, so he's probably not all that good. Okay, so the linebackers don't look too good. I could use just an outside linebacker. Who else could I use here? I don't really need a center. That guy looks kind of good, but I don't need him. I don't need a running back, but he looks very good, actually. Let me look around for a little while longer, I guess. I'm going to go with Rodriguez Marion here to play right tackle most likely. Looks like a pretty good offensive lineman, has a solid combine. here we go. 77 overall, normal development. I think he's going to slide into right tackle. Really bad run block power, but everything else is like pretty decent on him. He's also huge. He's 6'7". That was the only draft pick I actually made, so let's see who the computer grabbed for me. So we got an outside linebacker. That was one of the dudes I threw on my draft board, so he has, 75 speed. Very slow, but not horrible. He can probably start. And then nobody else, who looked that good. But let's check out the NFL. I have no idea what this draft class was all about, and I probably should have went the other direction, but it's okay. 82 overall corner with 98 speed. One of these dudes, star development. Insane, not insane man coverage, but very good man coverage. He was probably the top player in the class. There was two 82 overalls. Sean Marpet looks fantastic. 81 overall strong safety. This guy go late? No, he didn't. Okay. I saw a dude with like a 7.0 combine grade, but definitely was not that guy. Fernando Guion, left outside linebacker. That halfback was an 80. He had 94 speed. Oh my god. Quick development. This dude is a glitch. I wish I could have drafted that guy in one of my franchises. Carol Hewitt looks pretty good. Defensive tackle. Tyler Castillo, 79 overall. Vincent Givon, however that's pronounced, 79 overall. Cooper Stabline, 79 overall. This is a really nice looking draft class. The team is an 88 overall for this final season, and I think this team has a really good shot at making the playoffs again. Trevor Lawrence is a beast, 90 overall, quarterback there. Kareem Hunt, 96 overall. Cooper Kupp joins the team here. We signed a couple nice free agents again. Brandon Brooks is playing left guard for this team now. Mike Gesicki, the tight end, 82 overall, playing pretty well there. Marion's going to be starting at right tackle. My fault. He is a left tackle though. Trey Smith still here at right guard. Laramie Tunsil doing his thing over there. And then defensively, we now have a new left outside linebacker, but the rest of the defense is pretty much the same. Micah Parsons, 93 overall. I'm really excited to see what he can do. Minkah Fitzpatrick, though, developed the best out of anyone so far, 97 overall. But Micah Parsons might catch up to him, honestly, because he had, 13, 12 experience points last year? If he does that again, that would be absurd. We did make the playoffs here again. We went 10-6. The Jaguars are also 10-6. We won the division. That's what I like to see. 9-7 for the Jets, 8-8 for the Patriots, and the Bills tied twice. 6-8-2 for them. Here we go, though. The schedule in the preseason. We won 2, lost 2. Won the opening 2 games, lost to the Texans. Beat the Bills, lost to the Titans. Beat the Chargers, lost to the Jaguars. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Lost to the Jets and the Saints, and then won 5 in a row, my fault, and then lost to the Browns. Okay. So here we go. The stats. Deshaun Watson wins MVP. Trevor Lawrence, 4,402 yards, 38 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 70% completion percentage too. That is an amazing season. That is honestly exactly what I expected of him. Kareem Hunt, 14 rushing touchdowns, 1,429 yards. What a season for him. Cooper Kupp was a great acquisition. 93 catches, 1,274 yards, 10 touchdowns. Kenny Stills, 4 touchdowns. Mike Gesicki, 7. Devontae Parker, 8. Those guys all had very good seasons. Sack number is 14 from Laramie Tunsil. I guess I forgot to change Marion's position, but he did play right tackle, so 10 for him. Defensively, 100 tackles for Raekwon McMillan. Tackles for loss, we have 14 from AJ Epineza, 10 from Devon Godshaw. And then 12 sacks from Micah Parsons again, 8 for Epineza, not too bad. Interceptions, 3 from Bobby McCain, 2 from Raekwon McMillan and Trey Boston, 1 from Marcus Peters, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Xavier Howard. Okay, so defensive touchdowns, none. Safeties, none. Blocked kicks, 1. Nate McBride, alright. So second this year on offense, there we go. Defense was probably bottom of the league again. 10th. Okay, I don't know how to predict those numbers, man. So, the defense was actually quite good. Trevor Lawrence, number 4 for MVP. I do not see Kareem Hunt, though. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Jake Fromm wins it. Trevor Lawrence at number 3. Kareem Hunt at number 7. Mitchell Trubisky on the Bills at number 8 down there. Defensive Player of the Year, Jatavis Brown. Nobody from the Dolphins. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Roy Blanchflower. What a name. 70 overall as well. Okay. Anybody from the Dolphins? Walker Griggs, whoever that is. He's in there at number 6. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Parrish Banjo. Alright, good name. Artie Anders at number 5. Best quarterback, Jake Fromm wins it, but Trevor Lawrence is in there at number 3. Best running back, Kareem Hunt wins that one. Best wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. Cooper Kupp at number 2 there. Best offensive lineman, Joel Bitonio. Anybody from the Dolphins? I don't think so. Best defensive lineman, Myles Garrett wins it. Micah Parsons at number 5, though. And AJ Epineza at number 10. Okay. Best linebacker, Jatavis Brown. Best defensive back, Parrish Banjo. Nobody from the Dolphins. Best kicker, Robbie Gould wins it. Our kicker is not in there. All right, well, anyway, that was a pretty nice season to have at the end. Trevor Lawrence should have a ton of experience points here. He has 5. Sweet. He's going to go up to a 96 overall with confidence. Cooper Kupp didn't manage to get 1 somehow. And then defensively, Micah Parsons only has 3, but, you know, still, that's a solid number to have. This team should be primed to make a nice playoff run. Let's take a look at the team. 96 overall here for Trevor Lawrence. Let me just take a look at his stats. 98 throw power, 95 medium accuracy, 91 deep. He is ridiculous. You know, Cooper Kupp at a 90 overall. I don't know why I pointed him out. It is kind of absurd that he didn't get any experience points, though, for having that kind of season. He was the 2nd best wide receiver in the AFC. Defensively, Micah Parsons, 96 overall. I mean, come on, he's a beast. We drafted those dudes in the same year, didn't we? Like, that's unreal. If the Dolphins can manage something like that in real life, they could get back on the right track very, very easily. But here we go. Let's see if we can take down the Dolphins. Not the Dolphins. I am the Dolphins. Let's see if we can take down the Jaguars. A 90 overall to their 88. We have a nice team here, so we should be able to get the job done. Hopefully we can get a playoff win here. Come on. And we are going to get a win. 35-17. Now the Browns have probably like a 92 overall team. 93 overall team. Wow, alright. One-upped my expectations. Here we go. Can we beat them? Probably not. The Browns are insane in this game right now. And we are not going to beat them. 31-21, a relatively close game. 2-possession one. Let's check out those games, though, a bit more. 35-17, we handled the Jaguars quite nicely. 412 yards. Trevor Lawrence, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. What a game for him. And then had a Baker Mayfield play. Probably threw all over us today. 227 yards, 3 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence struggled against their defense. Nick Chubb was fantastic. Kareem Hunt was pretty good. Taylor Fields had a rushing touchdown. Kalen Ballage also did. Who scored all the touchdowns in this game? Cameron Meredith had 2. Kerry Gold had 1. Cooper Kupp had 1 as well. So Cooper Kupp was actually like the best free agent acquisition we had in this past class, at least. Kareem Hunt was probably the best one overall, but, you know, still, you got to expect that from him. I'll try not to target him many more times because he's always there. It is very cheesy, but realistic rebuilds in this game are actually really difficult to do, especially when you're doing a team that isn't already amazing. Like I mentioned this before, like the Broncos, I think I mentioned it in that rebuild. The Broncos don't have a fantastic base roster, neither do the Dolphins, so it's difficult to rebuild some of these teams with poor base rosters. You kind of have to cheese the system and go all out in free agency and make your team look very unrealistic, but I'm sorry, that's just kind of what has to happen. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope you Dolphins fans out there, enjoyed. I hope you're not too upset by me cutting someone or releasing someone. I didn't trade anyone, so can't be upset about that at least. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.